Hello and welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast, where we are the TNT Inside the NBA broadcast version of podcast.
I don't know what that means.
That means we're better.
Oh, okay.
ESPN broadcast sucks. TNT broadcast is always better.
Yeah. I do feel like Jason is the Mark Jackson of our broadcast, though.
Oh.
Hand down. Man down.
That's all I wanted.
I was at least going to go studio version of that, maybe not the, because I'd at least like, Kevin Harlan, but to be involved with ours. But
well, you'd be Kevin Harlan.
Nuts
right?
The other night. That was so great. Like, he lost his mind.
He was like,
he's the best.
Kevin, yeah, he was like, he's like, the shot is up, will it go?
And then just screams.
Yes! Because, it was just that pause where the waiting for the ball to bounce like 4 times with Kawhi's shot. But, oh God, look at all that red. I guess
we're going to test our...
We're going to test out the clipping on the mics today. It's been a while since we got around the table here to talk.
Yeah.
Just matter of life got in the way.
I just realized I have a game to talk about.
I know.
No, like 2, maybe even 3 or 4.
It's better. That's better than me.
Some stuff.
This is gonna go fine.
This will. Oh, I know it'll be fine. I know that I've struggled to find. There's been plenty of games out, but I've struggled to be like, oh yeah, I really want to play that, because I've just kind of been like,
a lot of mediocre stuff.
Been the thing. I'm like, I don't have I'd rather sit and watch a basketball game and play some dumb thing on my phone than play a mediocre game. It's kind of my thought.
Basketball's been really good.
Basketball's been real good. We'll turn this into a basketball podcast at some point.
I thought about pitching this to you guys a while ago. Like, you and I talked about TV and video games, and which is ultimately what we wound up doing.
Yeah.
But we would have the most unique podcast in the world if it was video games and basketball. Maybe just the NBA to not cross over, like, because I could talk about college and
we got to just stick to the NBA.
But if it was like an NBA video game podcast,
we now have confirmation that the NBA is rigged, because the Bulls got the 7th pick for the 3rd freaking year in a row.
It's just such a like.
It's not rigged, because if it was rigged, the Pelicans would not have gotten the number 1 pick.
No, I think that makes perfect sense.
Well, there is the theory that yes, because they got screwed on the Chris Paul deal years ago, and then they got the number 1 pick and got Anthony Davis, and then supposedly they got screwed this year on not being able to trade Anthony Davis. So
and then and then think about this: if they're like, oh yeah, we need to give New York and LA high picks too, because it's LA and New York,
and they did get 4.
But that's too obvious. We got to throw in a random pick here, like Memphis or something.
When they got to those top 4, I was excited because of the chaos, right? But at the same time, I was like, ugh, like mid-market. Like, is that really? Do we want I guess a bunch of OKCs. Is that what we want? Like, nationally, it doesn't matter, but I do like it when the Knicks matter. I like it when the Bulls matter.
I don't like it. I
like it when the Lakers matter.
I want the Knicks to suffer for their lifetime. Like, that's bad ownership, and that's bad general management, and they deserve to suck for life. Like, that's their own fault.
The ownership thing, I was against what he said until he pointed out the Dolan thing.
Yeah.
And he's a bad guy.
Well, they're all bad guys, though. Like, what?
Steve Ballmer, is he a bad guy?
Guess maybe not.
He lost his mind.
Most of them.
Like, he seems like he's just pretty happy to be there, guy.
Caleb's over here dancing on the grave of Paul Allen.
Yeah,
bad guy.
I was referring to alive owners.
Okay, living owners.
Living owners,
yeah, that's true, yeah.
The Dolan thing. Okay, fine. I thought you were like angry at Anthony Mason or Xavier McDaniel or something.
No. Those guys are all great. I mean, give me that. Well,
the X-Man.
I was never quite a big John Starks fan, but give me Anthony Mason all day.
The guy that he couldn't play in the NBA now. Think about it.
He'd be terrible.
Yeah, he wouldn't play.
Yeah,
a lot of those guys wouldn't.
No.
Oakley,
Charles Oakley would not play.
Right. Yeah. Oh man.
You don't think they could have been like a Draymond type?
No, they had no talent.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if they had like the ability to pass like Draymond.
Yeah, I guess
Draymond can put it on the floor a little bit and shoot it a little bit. So I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, what are
video games? Question mark.
Is that what this is?
I don't know where we're going with this.
What are we doing? This podcast at this point? I don't know. We just haven't seen each other in a while.
That is also true.
Yeah. It's been a while. So who wants to start? I think Jason, you've already said you got 4 or 5 games to start with. Do you want to hit any up there, or do you want to defer? Would you rather defer to the second half? I can always hit Caleb up.
Wait, that's not a basketball thing.
That's a football.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Do you want to choose into the field? I mean,
so I want to. Okay, I will begin.
Okay.
With the game that I forgot I played.
Okay.
But I have strong feelings about.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be looking to my right to Caleb for historical information and context as we talk about this.
Ah, yes.
I played. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Sekiro.
I think it's Sekiro.
Sekiro.
But I'm not 100% on that.
Maybe a little tongue spin in there. Sekiro.
How many times does the shadows die?
Twice.
Okay, just checking.
So, I spent more time with that than I thought I would.
You spent a lot more time than I did with that.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
This is even more surprising.
I respect that game a whole lot. I get it. Like I got it. It clicked. It doesn't mean it's not. It probably is. And I haven't played like I played Bloodborne a little bit, but I haven't played the Souls games the way you have. But I think it's the hardest game I've ever played.
I can totally understand that.
For me, anyway.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the hardest game I've ever played. And I rammed my head against the first sub boss for maybe 3 or 4 hours.
Which sub boss?
It was the first one, like just the one by the gate.
The dude, he was just a human guy.
He was a human guy.
Okay.
Like he was.
He
was like a large samurai.
Were you sneaking in behind him?
Not at first.
Yeah. Okay. You pretty much have to do that.
Yeah, not at first. So that was part of the lesson. And it gives you little nuggets here and there, but it doesn't teach you how to execute. There's a training area where you fight more or less an invincible dude that allows you to practice your tactics. But those are like in combat training sessions when you're in the heat of it. And I digress. One of the things I love about it is like the stakes are so high all the time. And like you said, there's always something to do. This isn't a dodge and roll and counter game as much as it is parry, counter, off of the counter, and then open for the attack. And the window is small. You have to be very precise. You have to be very decisive. And the stakes are really high. Like I said, It reminds me of Bushido Blade in a weird way. You fuck up, you're dead. You don't have any wiggle room. And I kind of like as unrealistic as this game is, in its setting and the way it tells its story and how kind of wild it is and out there, there's something really grounded about the combat that I really like. So you learn that in those tutorial sessions with him, but then against the sub boss, like I didn't really understand stealth. Yeah, and that's I started thinking about what I had heard about it, and I remember people were saying there's some Tenchu in there because of the way you climb,
you can
move around above enemies and grappling hook stuff. And so that's literally was my thought. I was like, maybe there's a way to sneak around this guy. And I did.
Because then you literally have his health right from the get-go. So it makes the fight.
So to explain, Logan, there's two, what are they called? They're death blows in my mind.
Blows.
Is it death blows?
I think that's what they're called.
That's what it is. So a guy has like 2 balls in his life meter. And the first one you can get purely off of stealth. But the second one you have to depreciate his bar.
Well, you could theoretically run and hide and lose him and then go back and do a stealth again.
Every time I did that, both came back.
I'm not saying, okay. It might not be every boss, but that is
bosses it works for.
Every boss I came across, if you would go and hide, the second death blow required would
maybe
come
they
back.
do that on bosses and leave it on regular enemies.
I think regular enemies, no big deal.
Yeah,
but bosses, you cannot go away. You have to survive the encounter, and it was brutal. Like learning how to do it was brutal, but without going into a ton of detail, I overcame it, and it was like, I'm the man.
Right. That's
I was frustrated by it. I wanted to return it, and I was like, nope, I'm just going to figure out how to get this guy, and then I can say I did it.
But then you get a taste.
I came out of it knowing more, and then I kept going. I kept going for a little while longer, literally until I came across a boss that I felt like this is beyond me.
The guy on the horse?
No, the woman.
You went there first.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I was able to. There's some time travel going on there, I think. So I went into the past realm, whatever you want to call it.
There's two branches you can go. You can do that when you did it, or you can do it later.
So I went to the horse guy first, and I was like,
apparently he's much easier.
Oh, really? Is he?
Yeah. But
that's interesting.
I didn't even get that far, so
maybe I didn't need to know that. So I got to those two. Those were the two where I felt like I don't, and as much as I enjoyed it, and as much as I enjoyed the challenge, I am not in the point of my life that I can do this. Like I cannot play a game and not make progress right now. I have to make progress in a game. Like the time I spend, I have to spend it making progress. And I knew I was at a point, somewhat feeling like I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know enough about these games historically, that I was going to struggle for a while, and I had to just put it down and play other stuff.
I'll get to it eventually. I haven't been feeling well for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
That should finally be over now, hopefully.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll finally be in the mood to get into something like that. There's no way with my current status I could concentrate on that. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
Caleb had penis enhancement surgery, so he's come out of it clean as far as we know.
I mean, I couldn't play with that dick either.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
But now.
Ooh,
buddy. Yeah. Achievement unlocked.
That's for sure.
It's like having a third hand.
It's like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Okay.
So
that's a good visual.
I really do respect that game, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And I know I didn't beat it. I'm not here to say that I've overcome that game in any way, but I made it farther than I thought I would. And I've played a Souls game now. I played a From Software game and killed a few bosses. Right. All right,
but it's something.
For me. Yeah, sure. Good for me.
Now at least you kind of understand where I was always coming from with you get a taste of one boss and you're like, maybe I could get to the next one. I think I could get there and just see what he looks like. And then you fight him once, you die, and you know what? I think I could do this. I think I got this. And that's just the cycle that it puts you through.
I know that if I had played this game 6 years ago, I would beat it.
Yeah.
If I was at a different time in my life, if I had just started working with you, I would have dove in with everything I had.
Pre-kids. Yes.
Yeah. But even younger than that, I think
this one also has less of the calculus to it that the Souls games do. Before when I pulled up the stats when I showed you Dark Souls 2 and you were like, oh, wow, there's a lot of numbers there.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have much of that at all. So it's
got a few ability trees. Right. And then a few, what are the three, there's forms of artillery.
Oh, I didn't even really get that far.
But I think that's it.
Yeah.
It's literally those forms of artillery, like a sidearm, and then.
But you don't have to worry about if your poise is plus or minus 1 or if your weight is 75% of your,
that stuff is inaccessible for me.
It's all just sounds like too many systems, which is kind of a lot. I feel like a lot of games anymore are trying to put so many systems and things that is I don't want to manage every single lever. I just don't care to do that. And maybe that's just where games are leaving me behind in certain things. But yeah, I just okay, this is just too much.
I don't play enough of, and you maybe have, but I can't think of. I don't know. I don't play those kind. I know that. What's a good example? DayZ, maybe. I know that maybe that's not it. The game that came out last year for zombie game came out. Is that DayZ? Came out for PC and Xbox.
State of Decay.
State of Decay. Sorry, is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's very much you got to measure this, measure that. It was Red Dead sounded like it was going to be like that. Measuring your camp happiness and all that stuff, but it had no relevance.
Right. In the end, it really
didn't matter. But that's one thing that made me really nervous about that game. And even some of the Far Cry stuff, I'm just there's just too much item management stuff going on here. I don't know. I play games to escape, not to have to think a whole lot.
Yeah. Sure, I respect that.
That's just that kind of stuff. If you start putting in too many leveling systems and too many multiple currencies on different things, it's I look even with the Division 2. There was all these different the shader
four
things,
different currencies,
right? Yeah, there's 4 different currencies on things, and it's and which of them actually help you and do different things. It was shade tech, what does shade tech even mean? This is stupid. Like, just let me go shoot some guys. Like, you know, like have one upgrade tree. Like, I don't need 5 upgrade trees and 4 currencies and a partridge and a pear tree.
So did you play the beta of that?
I played the beta of it, and there was parts of it that I liked, but then there were like, it got to be like, okay, well, now I'm going back to camp. Okay. Like it was like, okay, now you got to talk to this guy and talk to this guy and talk to this guy and talk to this guy to do these different things and upgrade different trees. And I just didn't care. I was like, I just want to go out in the world and do the missions and call it a day.
Are you playing that currently?
That's another game on my backlog.
I didn't know if you dove in yet.
Yeah. I just did the beta of it. I didn't do any more because I didn't care to. And that's exactly what I did with the Division 1. I played the beta and went, this isn't for me. And
I played the first one a little bit, but not, I don't know. Like, there's just, you got to make choices, right? Mm-hmm. And that it's a Schluter. Sorry.
Schluter.
But I'm realizing, I know. We as a people should be better than that. I understand. But I think that those, like, even thinking back to when I was talking about Anthem, like, that game's got enough problems, but also I don't enjoy these kind of games anyway. Like, they're not for me anyway. So Anthem was going to be a tough one for us to cover as a group, I think. I did my best, but it's just...
You took the bullet for us.
Yeah, and I really was hoping that maybe some of the BioWare story stuff would help kind of persevere. That didn't happen either. So, that's just kind of how that shook out. Mm-hmm. So just to bookend, Sekiro. Yeah, I was surprised, and that's probably the most excited. That's the thing I'm most surprised by since we last convened. Mm-hmm. Is I like that, and I spent more time with it than I thought I would, and I wish I was good enough at it to finish it in a timely manner.
Well, okay, you are good enough to finish it. Yeah. I firmly believe that like anybody could sit down with Dark Souls and finish it if they just push through it hard enough.
Yeah. And it's those nights of like sitting down and not making any progress that are going to
the night where you do 5 boss runs and you fail all of them. Yeah. And you're just like, oh man. But a lot of times it's the next run, like the next day after your mind processes it a little bit, that gets you through that. But
it's a cool thing.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah. It's a cool thing, and I do respect it. And so if we get to the end of the year and you tell me like it is incredibly satisfying, like that's enough for me.
For one reason, the biggest reason, well, not the biggest, but a big reason I want to play through that is I know there's a moment in that game that I think you guys are going to absolutely love if you see it.
Okay.
And I want to get to that point so I can nominate it for Moment of the Year.
All right. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. There's a moment that is very, very cool that I was spoiled on.
Did you finish it or
no?
Okay, I didn't know how long that was. I wasn't sure how long the game
I had a moment and it was like probably worthy of even just talking about. There was one thing that happened that I was surprised. I had not quite hands in the air, but I was like, oh,
jot it down in our new Discord channel.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just so we can
where the gamers are at, brah.
Yeah.
So that's the one big thing, but we can talk about other stuff you guys played.
All right. Caleb, you want to go next and rattle off something?
So I played a couple of indie games.
Okay.
That one of them I liked a lot, and the other I was kind of meh on. Mm-hmm. The meh one I'll start with. Mm-hmm. Baba Is You.
I've watched somebody play it a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a little puzzly.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game. Mm-hmm. And the thing that frustrated me the most with it, I'm not going to sit here and explain the mechanics because watching a minute-long video will explain everything you need to know.
Yeah, I think explaining it would be harder than just... If you want to know how Baba Is You works, Google Baba Is You and watch a video, yeah.
But the thing that frustrated me, I think, was that the levels didn't really seem to get more complex. They just seemed to get larger. So instead of having like 3 things that you can manipulate around in a creative way, you now have 10. And I'm just like, well, I just have to figure out which order to do these in. This isn't very interesting to me. I would rather it be more creative solutions to the problem with less options. So I did the bare minimum of the puzzles to reach the ending. I think you have to do like 30 puzzles or something. It only took a couple of hours. But I got to the end and I'm like, I don't feel like I really want to do much more of this. It's fine, and it's really inventive, but I don't know. It just didn't really do a ton for me.
I was just trying to have some understanding of it.
What Baba Is You is. Yeah, it's a very rudimentary thing where you can kind of turn the rules on and off with different ideas, and it's different.
Yeah. It is definitely unique. But the one that I really, really, really liked, and this will come up again, I'm sure.
Okay.
Was Hypnospace Outlaw.
Hypnospace Outlaw.
That game is awesome. So you play as a Hypnospace enforcer in the 90s.
Okay.
There was this headset invented that you put on while you sleep, and then while you sleep, you can browse this internet. So it's not the internet; it's specialized for It's the Hypnospace.
Sleep. Okay. Yeah.
So you play as an enforcer on this. So what you're doing is going around to people's websites and looking for problems. You're looking for like copyright infringement. You're looking for harassment, stuff like that, and then you report it to the Hypnospace police, and they take care of it.
Okay.
The cool thing is, as you're going around to people's websites, there are like repeat offenders, and you're going back to them time and time again. So you actually get to kind of know these people through their website that they're making. And there's kind of a meta narrative that goes along with that too. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But it really goes some cool places.
How is the gameplay? Like, what does it look like?
It looks like a 90s web browser.
Oh.
Like extremely 90s web browser. Like
so it's a point and click kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, how are you going to...
You literally have a desktop in front of you and you're clicking on stuff.
Okay.
But there's a moment in there that is awesome. There's a really satisfying ending, I thought. And it kind of pivots on itself a couple of times, and you really have to be creative in the way that you solve problems too. So it's really, really cool. I can't recommend it enough.
Well, is it like, so is it, are you hunting for different things that are wrong with it? Or are they pretty obvious, or
sometimes they're obvious and sometimes they're not. So like, it'll say like, you need to find 3 instances of, copyright infringement of this cartoon character. So you're looking for pictures of that cartoon character so that you can report them.
And these are on like GeoCities sites.
Exactly.
Basically. Okay.
Basically, yeah. And so like the first one will be really, really easy because it'll be like the fan site of this frog character. And you're like, okay, they're going to have that frog character on there.
All right. Yeah.
But then there's probably a couple that are super hidden and you have to just find them. And there are different ways you can go about doing that. So it's really cool.
All right. That sounds interesting.
This looks like something else. Cost, Caleb?
I think it's $15, $20.
Steam?
Steam, yeah. $20, I think, actually.
Okay. How long?
I think it was like 12 hours for me to run through it. Yeah.
No,
that's pretty good investment.
Substantial, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't sit there and read every website either. There's a lot of stuff in there I just didn't look at. Because you don't have to. But if you want to, you can sift through literally everybody's website and see their crazy stuff that they're putting up there.
Which is kind of one of those immersion things that you appreciate, that they went to the work of building that. Wow. This was not on my radar at all.
No, so, I didn't even know what it was, yeah.
It's like, I don't want to put it on the same quality level, but it reminded me in a lot of ways of Obra Dinn.
Oh, okay.
In the like
whodunit
kind of like one small mystery leads to a larger mystery type of thing.
Oh my god, I love Obra Dinn. Yeah, so cool. Music's so good. Is there a soundtrack to this?
Yes, it's really cool.
And is it good?
Yeah, because everybody's website has their own like MIDI music on it.
Oh, MIDI music, man! I might be.
I kind of might be into this. Yeah, the way that in like the colors in the desktop. Like,
yeah, if you have any affinity for like old GeoCities websites, then you're probably gonna like this.
But even that, it looks like it's kind of what I'm looking at. Like the toolbar at the bottom, it kind of looks like an older version of Mac OS.
Yeah,
like a late '90s Mac OS.
Yep.
And everything has got this really like, hey, we figured out how to do like high poly animations. Like they're poorly designed animations, but you know, it's like, it reminds me of like early 3D animation, like low budget Toy Story era.
Yeah.
Like Toy Story was the highest budget, and then you'd see like a bunch of low budget stuff. Like, do you remember Reboot, Logan?
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of Reboot a little bit. Like this, just the way.
Like, hey, we can do 3D modeling.
I mean,
but
you can. Right, exactly. Yes, should we be doing this? Yeah, that looks cool, Caleb. Once again,
I'll be tempted. Yeah,
I may look at that.
Is this something we should be checking out
at this point in the year? Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows what the fall is going to bring, but as of right now, this is
nothing. Yeah, for quite some time. Yeah.
As of right now, this is definitely on my list. So
I hate to distract, but isn't there one big release left in the summer?
There's a few.
There's a few, but like they're very scattered out. Like I don't think there's anything until late June at this point.
And this could be a really big E3 too. So we'll have to
wait
and see.
We have no idea what E3 is going to bring.
Right.
None. I mean, because Sony's not even there.
Well, some inside info that I might be able to share.
Oh, insider.
Not here.
Oh.
So we'll talk after.
Yeah. Yeah, it's connected.
I have a connection now.
It's connected.
I didn't know you were connected.
I know.
Are you on an NDA right now?
I'm not. I probably should be.
Okay. Well, I guess we might need to pause this podcast.
We're not going to do the predictions podcast because Caleb's going to win.
No, I know like two things.
So. Hotline Miami 3.
Yeah.
No.
I think you guys know something too, but
probably
we'll leave that.
All right.
Where it is.
Yeah, I've got one guess on something I know, but anyway, yeah. Do you got anything else you want to hit on real quick? I mean, we won't hit everything. We can go around the table.
Jason, how far did you get in Days Gone? Should we talk about that?
I do want to talk about that because I'm curious how far you are too.
I got like 4 hours in. That's
so
all
you're
I did.
longer than I am. Okay. I got to the first. So you go through that tunnel, and it kind of still you're doing tutorials, so you're grabbing a bunch of materials. And I got to the first freaker area by the gas station.
Did you do that area or did you stop there?
I think I quit there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I stopped. So I've seen the major story reveal. It's not a spoiler because it's so early. The major story reveal, you get separated from is she like your fiance or your wife? She's your wife because you are married to her.
I didn't get there, but I know there is a flashback scene with the wedding.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Because it was a bit of controversy because apparently during that scene, during her wedding vows, she says, "I want you to promise me to ride me like you ride your bike."
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
I've
heard that, and I was like, "What?" And it was like, "Ride me like shouldn't it be the other way around?" Like she said that. Like, I don't. I'm thinking about positions of who rides who, and
that kind of explains that game a little bit in a nutshell. It's okay. It seems fine. I didn't get hooked on it though. So, and that should be my kind of game. Open world, lots of stuff to do. Just didn't hook me at all. I still plan on going back to it. I just haven't.
I haven't either. And I'm kind of in the same boat where I may have some time here in between releases, but I haven't been able to stop playing one particular game. So I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how long, excuse me, sorry. It depends how long I'm stuck on something else, but I don't know. I wish that in the first hour it would have grabbed me, but that's also not fair because apparently it's, a long form piece. So I don't think even 4 hours is fair to judge it on.
Maybe we'll talk more about that next podcast.
Yeah, I would.
We'll see.
I would like to play it more, but also I can feel myself like, I may not.
Yeah.
I'm right there, and I'm hoping to be able to power through that and get back to it, but we'll see. Yeah.
Logan, what have you been playing? You haven't talked much.
I'm letting you guys talk because I haven't really had so I guess I'll talk about the one thing that you guys, I'm almost pretty sure nobody's played, and that is Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yeah, you are correct.
So I've been playing that with my 8-year-old daughter. You can be multiple Yoshis at a time, so you can do, well, I think at least 2. I don't know if you can go above 2. But it's a kid platformer. I mean, it's nothing that crazy. It's for the most part, it's very, when they talk about the crafted world, it is literally the world looks like it's made out of paper craft. So I think there was Yoshi's Woolly World that was out on the Wii U, and that looked like everything was made out of yarn. So this is just made it looks a little more paper crafty. Typically, most of the levels have like there's little daisy flowers that you try to get. There's 5 of them usually per level. And in order to move, you can finish a level without finding any, but in order to move on forward into certain worlds, it'll be like, you need to have 10 daisy flowers.
So you might have to go replay.
So you might have to go back and replay it if you didn't collect any. And some of them are pretty easy to find. A couple of them, usually like 3 out of the 5 are really easy to find. But they usually require some sort of trick to get. Like they're not just going to be out and you just jump and grab it like a coin. They're typically behind like there's these little cloud things that are usually floating in the air, and they like have a question mark on them, and you can't just jump and hit them. You actually you throw eggs at them.
An egg.
Yeah, so you have to eat a bad guy. It creates an egg, and then you throw the egg at one of those question mark things, and it might pop open a thing of, oh yeah, here's a target thing now, and you've got to throw your eggs within 10 seconds and hit all these moving targets in order to get the flower. That kind of stuff. So those are the type of things that you'll come across. There's been some other things where you'll have to go and find parts of a train in order to move the train forward within the level. So there's just different things like that. But most of the stuff is, there's been times where she's done some of the levels by herself. And so she's been able to do them pretty well for an 8-year-old. Yeah. So yeah, it's when 8-year-old girl can figure it out. But then again, I mean, I was playing games a lot at 8 and doing that kind of stuff. So I guess I shouldn't act like, oh yeah, it's so hard to do. But I mean, it's, then again, I'm not going to throw her in the middle of Red Dead and be like, yeah, figure this out. It's like and plus I'm not going to put her in Red Dead.
Save that for Paige.
Save that for the younger one. Although I did put her in I guess I did let her run around in Red Dead, and that was the person in my Game of the Year video. When she was running around, she found the guy she was running around. She was the one that found the guy that got kicked in the head. And the guy's like, oh shit. like good parenting.
You bring that up. That actually makes that moment way better.
Good parenting. Yeah. That was, she was the one running around in that scene. Actually, it was from what I recorded. Cause I made her hand me the controller really quick so I could record it. So I was like, give me that right now. I was like, I need to press the record that button.
I'm looking at some gameplay for this because I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Red Dead? No, kidding.
Red Dead, yeah.
Yes, first time.
Yoshi's Crafted World. Yeah,
first time with our Game of the Year last year.
It's a very cutesy game. It's a nice little 2D platformer. It's got a little bit of 3D with it. There'll be some pathways that you kind of that you'll either walk forward or backwards, and you'll end up on a next 2D plane. So there's some of that to do, but for the most part, it's very much, that style game of 2D platformer that's, in those games, I've always kind of liked those games.
I played a little bit of Woolly World, and I didn't go all the way through it just because it was too easy.
Yeah.
Is that the same for this? Is it?
If I were to go and sit down and play through this without her, it is probably too easy. It's not like it's definitely not like to the level of difficulty as Odyssey.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's just not as much. There's really not the danger there at all.
Can you die?
Yes, you can. We've actually been, so my 4-year-old's been playing a little bit of it too. So, I mean, she can't quite finish a level on her own. I've had to help her a couple times, but, through it, but for the most part, she can finish a level with 2 or 3 helps from me, on the early levels. I mean, it gets a little harder later on for her, but it's a nice little family game for us to play.
Yeah.
So we're about, I think based world map wise, we're about 3/4 of the way through it. But it's also getting to be nicer out, and
right.
So having the kids inside playing the game, and it's the game I've got from GameFly right now, so that's also like, okay, can we please finish?
Bite the bullet and get that 2 discs.
I know, I need to just look it up and get the 2-disc plan for GameFly, that one's been, that happened the last time I got a game. I got a Switch game for the kids, and it was like, oh, and I still don't have anything for myself. Great. So
this kind of looks like Little Big Planet.
It does, because Little Big Planet has that paper craft look to it, so it looks like that a lot. I would say Little Big Planet's harder than this, but it's
sure,
been fun to play.
And it doesn't have the customization that something like that does.
Right? Yeah, and it's been fun to play. It's a perfectly fine game.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in 2019.
Yeah,
it's perfectly okay.
Perfectly fine games,
like Mortal Kombat, just okay. I'm completely joking.
We could say it's the perfect game.
I just wanted to see your reaction off of that, and you gave me nothing.
I don't know if I would go perfect.
You're not going to troll me, sir.
Pretty darn good. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't say it's perfect either.
No.
But I cannot stop playing Mortal Kombat.
Who do you play?
Scorpion.
Okay.
Because it teaches you how to kick ass with Scorpion.
Yeah.
It teaches you everything you need to know about murdering with Scorpion. If you go through all those tutorials all the way down through it and then go through Scorpion's character tutorial, my God, you can murder with him.
You know what I want in that game, though, that I don't, maybe it has it and I just missed it. I want the ability to slow down enemies by like half just in the training, because I felt like I couldn't even do the training parts with Scorpion.
I think some of that, we talked about that a little bit earlier after Mortal Kombat launched. Mm-hmm. I think some of that is fighting game acumen, and Mortal Kombat acumen.
There's just no good entry point into that genre. It's weird.
I wish I can't excuse it, because I do agree with you. I just think some of that comes naturally from just time spent playing fighting games.
It has a rhythm.
Yeah,
right? It's finding that rhythm, and sometimes I know I've fallen into the Batman rhythm of it's like punch, like grappling hook. Yeah, like I feel like I should be doing some of that with that game sometimes, because there is a little bit of that with some of the combos where there's almost a punch. A delay, and then cause you got to wait a second to do certain things, and that's kind of some of the stuff where finding that right rhythm, and finding that rhythm with a certain character too is also, because I've been playing, I hate myself for it, but I've been playing as Sonya for the most part. Like I just hate it because
it's Ronda Rousey.
It's Ronda Rousey's voice acting is awful in that game, but that's who I've been maining for the most part.
Let me ask this. When you go to block and it's telling you, okay, you need to block regular or you need to block low, are you reading that opponent's move and then reacting to it, or are you guessing?
I'm guessing.
Okay.
But you do not have time to read.
Okay. So maybe it's just my mindset. Maybe I should.
You cannot be reactionary, because if you're reactionary, it's too late.
Okay.
You do need to gamble, which is why Mortal Kombat has a block button and some fighting games don't, which is kind of a point in contention in the fighting game community. But those that enjoy it, it is a risk to block in a weird way.
So it's more rock, paper, scissors than it is react to your opponent.
Yeah. Okay. And especially if you're like, for me, if I'm engaged in a really nasty one online and we're going back and forth, you learn a little bit each time about your opponent and the moves they like to do and what they're going after, and then you have to roll the dice and predict what they're going to do. And if they go back to the well and you get them, then it's a chess match, and then it's back on them.
Okay.
But you choose to block first. If you're getting attacked and you don't know how to deal with it, then you figure out, all right, high or low block. So high, low, mid, and where are they coming at you from? And you got to take a leap of faith.
Okay.
And if you choose the wrong one, if they're a good player, more than likely you're going to be in the air for a while, getting the shit kicked out of you. But one valuable piece of information you may not know, I don't know, you played through the story, right? So you spent a fair amount of time with it. Do you know how to do a juggle cancel?
No.
Ever teach it? So that's the tutorials I think are invaluable in this thing, because I didn't know that either. But when you're getting juggled, you hold down block and hold down, and you'll stop getting juggled. Your character will spin out of it.
Oh.
To hold down and block is what it is?
Mm-hmm. So if you're getting juggled,
I've been playing online, so
you can stop. You hold down on the D-pad or your joystick, and then smash block. And so if you're getting the shit kicked out of you juggle, it might finish the particular move. But if you're in the air while they set up their next juggle, you can, and your character will flash, and they'll spin out of it and slam on the ground. Which, if they go into their next juggle maneuver, they're over the top of you, and they're doing inputs automatically, which gives you the chance to then
recover.
Take over.
Yeah.
So it is like a chess match, like any other fighting game. But in Mortal Kombat, blocking is essential, but it is which direction are you going? Right. Are you going high? Are you going low? Like, what are you gonna do? And the only way to learn that is to just engage. It forces you to engage. I love it. You rarely see like two characters way on the other end, like holding block. Like it never happens because it's not a way to succeed.
No, there's too much chip damage even in that game blocking helps, but you could just, if you want to hang out at the other side and just press block, almost everybody has some sort of projectile.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anybody who doesn't really have some sort of projectile or a teleport thing to end up right beside you. Mm-hmm. So,
and you can't hold block through a grab,
right? So that I did learn that, and that is
the only way to cancel a grab is by grabbing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't, there might be a chance where you cancel out the grab, but more than likely, if they're spamming block, like you can just grab them and beat the shit out of them. I love the way it looks. I love how over the top it is.
They are just over
the top. It's stupid, and I love how stupid it is.
Even that very first fight in the story mode, where it's not Sonya, but the other.
So I'm the opposite. I haven't played any of the story.
Cassie, you haven't played any story?
I literally can't. That's what I mean. I literally can't.
That's the first thing I did. I did the tutorial.
That's the only thing I did.
I did the tutorial, and then I would throw a fit like my 3-year-old if you made me do anything other than hit fight and online and select Scorpion. So like I would throw a fit.
I'm just
okay. You need to play the story.
You do.
You really do. It's so over the top and so stupid, ridiculous.
I understand what you're saying. Don't make me do it right now.
No, not right now. just before the end of the year.
Oh, I was kind of excited to talk about the story mode.
Well, I just want to talk about that very first fight.
You guys can spoil it. I don't.
Well, we can talk about the first fight. Yeah.
Well, I'll just explain it to you because it's Cassie and Sonya wants to promote Cassie in the military,
in the military, yeah.
And so she's like, you know what the last step is,
in Earthrealm's forces,
right? Yeah.
But you know what the last step is, right? You got to beat me in a fight. And I'm assuming it's just going to be like, okay, well, they're going to turn down all the violence. They're just going to punch each other a few times. And it's going to be over. No, they do not turn any of that off.
No,
so you have you have Cassie's drone just like sawing Sonya in half.
And there's no fatality though.
Right.
But it's still, if there's a fatal blow of any kind. Like,
yeah, well, all of the, what are they called? What the moves? The
fatal blow, right?
Fatal blow. Okay.
Yeah. Fatal blow.
All the fatal blow moves are there. Yeah, she's just dome piecing her. Everything else, like, huh? So you haven't even seen like all the characters' fatal blows and stuff.
The ones that have been done to me online.
Yeah, I guess.
Everyone, when I occasionally get beat, I'm always excited because I'm gonna see like a fatality that I haven't seen. Or like, so that's been like, it even helps a little bit because like when I'm not super salty about it because I'm like, all right, well, at least okay, thanks for doing that. Ha! I haven't seen that one. That's great.
See, that's the flip side of this because I didn't get to see many fatalities because you don't.
I've gone back and I started doing the character story modes.
Oh,
the character tower
arcade
things.
Yeah.
So I can get the character endings and I want to see each of the characters' fatalities.
So those are independent of the story mode.
Correct. Yeah, and they're terrible. They're absolutely fucking.
I've heard the Jax one is amazing, but
it's amazingly terrible. Okay. Like it's so bad. Like. The Sonya Blade one. Like the thing is like you actually should, before you do those, like you kind of actually need to do the story mode to understand like why they did the endings the way they did because the main story mode you're forced into an ending. Like you're forced to use a character for an ending, and that's how it is. So with it's like, okay, well, what if the story mode happened, but instead of that ending, you got this ending instead? But so like the Sonya one, like all of a sudden she becomes like a god, and then everybody, all of her family are gods with her. Like what? Like it's
can I spoil the Jax one for you?
Sure, I don't know.
Apparently he goes back in time and stops slavery.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, it's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. It gets so over the top ridiculous. When I say they're bad, they're poorly produced compared to everything else because they're not actual movies.
Are they similar to like the Tekken ones?
Yeah, I would say they're even.
There's just illustrations of an event.
Illustrations of an event. Yeah,
okay.
Like I'm trying to think of because there used to be good Tekken ones.
Well, yeah, that's Then this recent Tekken, it had you can't do both. That's why I'm not surprised. Like you can't do the hardcore story mode and then like the individual like arcade campaign and expect that one to be
endings. Yeah. So that's how these are too. So I've done probably 5 or 6 of those endings somewhere around there, and then I've been doing some towers. Went to the crypt and did some stuff. I about threw my damn controller when I first went to the crypt because it was because it's third person. Have you gone into the crypt?
Yeah, okay. That's the only other thing I've done.
So I go into the crypt and it's third person, and there's no option in the crypt to flip your axis.
I did.
I had to do it outside of the crypt.
Oh, okay. That's must be how I did it too.
But the first time I went to do it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I can't do this anymore. I was losing my damn mind because it was the y-axis was not inverted. Sure. Like, I don't know why I can't handle that. It's just, and everybody thinks you're not an inverted guy, are you?
Yeah, you guys are both just wrong on that one.
No, inverted is the right way to do it. Because if you put a stick on the back of someone's head and that's how you moved it.
Then why don't you invert left to right as well then?
Because that would just be insane. Now you're a madman.
Is it a flight stick thing?
It's a flight stick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have no
Star Fox.
I literally do not care.
Star Fox.
Star Fox did it to me. That's what it was.
That might be what it is. Yeah, it's
Play the way you want to play. I don't care.
What?
I just think it's funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, but you really need to play that. It's not long. It's very what? How do
you will eventually.
Just do it. It's 3 hours probably.
Oh, come on, in November or something. You can't even commit to that.
Just do it.
I really want to just finish
it's really good.
I'm going to come over and I'm going to unplug your modem.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
Okay.
That's the thing that surprised me is that it was actually engaging the whole way through.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's some really dumb stuff, like funny,
dumb stuff.
Good dumb stuff. Yeah. Like you'll, for whatever reason, just always watch what Liu Kang and Kung Lao are doing. Like they're just in the background doing stupid shit all the time.
Just the
okay, all right.
Like young Johnny Cage interacting with old Johnny Cage is pretty good. Like stuff like that.
Yeah, like they're seeing old versions of themselves. Yeah. It's real dumb. It's dumb in a good way that. Yeah.
Except Ronda Rousey. She sucks.
Oh, God.
They should just replace her voice acting.
Her voice acting was so bad. Like it's almost like it's bad enough to you need to see how bad this is.
It's glaring enough that I noticed it without even realizing that was Ronda Rousey. I was like, why does Sonya sound terrible? And then people started talking. Because that's why. Because it's not an actual voice actress playing her.
I watched the reveal of that. So that's what I was chatting with you guys on Discord, I think, that day.
Yeah. I think it just sounds like she wasn't even. It sounds like that she phoned it in. Like they literally were like, "Here, can you talk into the phone and just say your lines?" Okay.
She showed up at that event, and I was just bummed out.
Yep.
Why is she up there with video game royalty Ed Boon? I like Ed Boon. I think Ed Boon is a more important person to our society than Ronda Rousey. I do.
Yeah, sure. I'm with you.
I was really surprised. I mean, this won't be a huge spoiler for you or anything else, but in the story mode, there was a lot of Noob Saibot.
Yeah.
Do you know why his name is that?
Tobias Boone.
Right? All right. Yeah. Well done.
I was just surprised that he has never been a huge character before, and all of a sudden he was a big character in.
Well, he had a big role in 10 as well.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yep.
Huh. I'm trying to remember all the stuff with 10. I just remember the kids in 10. That's
which like half of those kids aren't in this.
Yeah,
at all,
just Jackie and Cassie are the only ones that are in it. Takada and or Takeda.
Kenshi? No.
Kenshi's an older character.
That's a different character. I don't remember the second.
Kenshi's not in this, which makes me happy because Jason can't use him.
Fuck you up, Scorpion.
Oh, I'm not denying that you will. I think like, and Cassie Cage is completely different. Like I went to use her and I was like, you are, and they gave Cassie's moveset to Sonya.
You know who's exactly the same?
Who?
Jade, and I love that.
I do like Jade. I like Jade. She's probably my second go-to. Then oddly enough, Jax.
Mm-hmm. Jax is cool because his arms like start glowing.
Yeah, like the more he hits people, the more.
Can that backfire on you? Can that like overheat or something?
I haven't had it happen.
I haven't either. I just yeah.
But yeah, that is a cool part.
Jade is my go-to because as soon as someone jumps, she has an uppercut that crosses like half the screen, so I can do some damage that way.
I have actually. There was somebody who fucked me up with her online, and I haven't played with her yet. But you're right. Like her range. Like I thought I had plenty of distance with that staff.
Yeah,
I did not.
Yep. You just can't jump against Jade.
This dude was like. He jumped across the screen, got me in the air, juggled me around, got me in the corner. I tried to roll out, tried to teleport out, and then like she has that over the head staff attack too. Yep. So he like juggling me over the head, covering distance, comboing the shit out of me. And this guy was good, obviously, but I was like, if you use her, she looks like she's dangerous. I didn't. It was one person. I think I played 100 matches. Around there, and it's no one's played it since, but that has stuck with me. Like I've thought when I do change characters, like I need to look at her because that guy, I know how to deal with almost every other character
except Jade.
I didn't know I remember still like it was one of those like
I'm just gonna sit here because I don't
controller down because I literally can't get out of this. I like that game a lot. I'm glad you guys like it too. That's exciting, and it's
we like it for different reasons. I think, though,
which
oddly enough,
I think is really interesting. Like
I still can't believe you haven't touched the story.
Well,
I'm just like, what? You haven't touched it?
I wasn't lying. Like so when Mortal Kombat came out years ago, right? You just played it locally, or you played at the arcade, and I was the younger guy at the arcade who would beat up on older people. Like every time they came up, like, yo, like you don't know how to deal with Cyrax right now. Like I know you're bigger than me. I know you're older than I am, but Chief, like you don't know how to deal with Cyrax right
see,
now.
I was a Sector guy.
So
I went Red Robot.
That felt like that felt good, but now and I know like Jim Carrey said in Liar Liar, you're gonna play Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam. Like
you are now.
We've been here forever. We've been there, but I haven't like even like the most recent Halo. Like I didn't play that as much online, but there is something about I can go out there and I can play someone who likes Mortal Kombat probably as much as I do, and like we can go at it, and it's best of 5. So like it's just the right amount of time, and it's enough time to learn enough about each other. And I've just had some epic ones. Like it just. Very evenly matched and like down to the wire, and where we're just one of us will beat the shit out of the other one. They'll figure out our strategy and then come back, and then we won't know how to deal with the counter punch. And then like, what do you do? Who's gonna have that final counter punch between the two of us that really wins? And I can't get enough of that. Like I can't get enough of it. And it's been a long time since a multiplayer game has hooked me like this, but it has happened, and I don't feel like letting that go right now. I don't know. Like if you told me a BioShock game was out tomorrow, it would be a hard decision. Where any other game the past like decade, like I'm immediately going to go play that. But I really like, it's going to take, hopefully enough time with Mortal Kombat will make me want to play the stuff that comes in the fall. I would assume there'll be things.
There'll be a point, yeah. With this,
but man, if you told me I can't...
Did you do this with X as well, with 10?
not like this. No? Yeah, no, not.
I played a lot, but not
like
this.
this.
See,
Okay.
I jumped online a lot with X too, and I haven't even gotten online with this yet at all. I've just been doing single player stuff. Which if I got on now, I'd probably just get destroyed.
I think 10 or X, whatever you want to call it, I was still a little bit in the achievement mode, I think.
Okay.
And I'm not anymore, So I could care less about, and this is weird because like 9, I have 940 points in 9, and the only thing I don't have is play a total of 48 hours with each character.
Oh, jeez.
That's the only achievement I don't have. That's crazy.
That's a crazy.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
ask.
I was rubber banding my controller.
Right.
Like it was stupid. I finally just stopped.
Yeah.
But then with 10, I think I was still like, I love these games. I want to get all the achievements. But with 11, now that I'm somewhat cured of that awful disease, the only thing I really care about now is it's not even my wins and losses necessarily. I mean, I like to have a good record and I want to be leveling up, but like the experience. Like I want the experience and the challenge of playing another player.
Just out of curiosity, is there a win so many matches in a row online achievement?
I don't think so. Not this year. Yeah.
That is one of those badges of honor that like I got from X. I was like, man, that's like, what was it?
Dropping fools.
Yeah. Was it
10 in a row?
10 in a row. Yeah. It's like, I was real proud of winning that, getting that 10 in a row achievement. I was like,
on that 9th one, you had to be sweating so
God.
hard.
I'm still like, I still remember how much my heart was beating so fast. And I was Cassie Cage straight through, just like I don't even think I think I did the fatality on the 10th when I was just jumping up and down like a little kid.
Did you guys do in Final Fantasy X? Did you do the dodge 200 lightning bolts?
Oh God,
we did, right?
When you get up to like 190, your heart is just pumping out of your chest.
Is that Lulu's ultimate weapon?
That's Lulu's ultimate weapon. Yeah. Was dodging the lightning bolts.
I remember you doing that in our dorm room. I remember it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I did it in Adelaide.
No, that was you played 10-2 in Adelaide.
No, but I think I did I thought I did that. I thought maybe I did do it there. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure you did it while we lived together. Yeah, because you finished it and then you came back to it. You're like, I'm gonna get all this shit, and I was like, I'm done, but you go ahead.
you knock yourself out.
You go ahead.
I'm trying to because there was no counter either.
The Chocobo Balloon Race and the Butterfly Gathering are 3 of the worst mini games to ever be invented.
Yes.
That's kind of those things
and I
that
played
I wish.
all Blitzball.
Oh, I love Blitzball though. I'll play Blitzball
I didn't
all
mind
day.
Blitzball. I like Blitzball too. I'm good.
All of those things make me. We talk about achievements, like it's what made like the achievement thing so appealing.
Yeah,
is because we did all that stuff, and there was no there's not a trophy case for that in a weird way. So I think that's why I got into achievements as hard as I did, because I thought about all of my gaming milestones that are on memory cards out there.
Yeah,
and like. Those are just for me, but I have no way of you guys knowing.
What if there was a display case for those?
Yeah, right. And so that's why I think there still is some merit to achievements. It's just like there's a line there, and it can't be the reason why you play games. Yep. And so that's, I think, why I'm in a different space now with MK11, where I don't care how many achievement points I get. I just want to fight guys online. I want the matches to be good, and I want to finish them.
That just brings me to a really random question. If you could have a physical achievement trophy for one video game achievement that you had, what would it be?
I don't think I'm prepared to answer this question. One video game?
If you could have a physical trophy for one accomplishment in a video game, like think of like the achievements.
Okay, one comes to mind quickly. Please don't cement me on this one. Please don't write it in ink. But I think Mile High Club is probably one of them for me.
That's the Call of Duty one?
Mm-hmm. It was the first game I ever got 1,000 achievement points in. Call of Duty 4. Wait, yeah, 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Modern Warfare 1. And it's the Caleb, do you remember you're in the plane?
Yeah, you have to clear out the plane in less than 10 or 15 seconds or something like that.
Before someone gets executed.
Yeah.
And the plane goes down. And oh man,
hours of failed runs.
Yeah, yeah. But I finally got it. There was something about, I think it was the speed of that made it like so. It was such a short run. It made it easy to restart because you do like 4 times a minute.
Yeah, because if it was 20 seconds and the load time wasn't bad.
Do it. Go. And you had to do it on veteran, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that don't hold me to that, but that's one that sticks with me. And then when I saw those 4 digits pop up, that's when it happened. That's when I started going down the terrible hole. I was like,
what?
There's literally nothing else to do in this game. I got to find another game.
Yeah.
I got to do everything in another game. And so for games that I really cared about, I started like both BioShocks. Like I started doing
that was the first thing that came to mind for me was brass balls. Just like
no saves, right?
It's no saves. Vita chamber or no Vita chambers.
No Vita chambers.
Yeah, okay. No Vita chambers.
There was also bigger brass balls, which was do that, but on hard mode.
Yeah,
I have that.
I think
that was the one the 100-point one they added in afterwards.
I immediately did it. I was like, "You've added this achievement."
Mine would probably be 100% on one of the Rockstar games. I just can't decide which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of which one it would be. I think maybe I think I can't remember what it's called now, but it's the equivalent of brass balls on BioShock Infinite.
Oh, right.
1941 mode or whatever.
Whatever the year is.
Yeah. 1937 or something like that. Yeah. That'd probably be.
I know I'm forgetting something. That's why I don't want to commit to it, but that's what
I know.
It
just was like, for whatever reason, that just like hit my head. I was like, man, if I could have a physical.
You know what here's an idea. I mean, no one listens to this anyway, so I'll share this beautiful business idea. What if I made artwork for like an achievement milestone that people really liked that they wanted to hang on their wall?
That'd be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I see this, you have it on, show me your gamer card, and then like, there's artwork for them, but what if you like took a version of that artwork and made like a little plaque?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here I come, Etsy.
Can I propose a short break?
Sure, we'll take a quick break. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to act like you got to pee or something.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Short break. We'll be right back. And we're back, and we're talking about Bobby Makes Brunch.
I think it's Brunch at Bobby's.
Brunch at Bobby's?
Yeah, it was on the Cooking Network originally years ago. It was one of their launch their launch shows, and it's on Food Network now. But Brunch at Bobby's,
speaking of brunch, I went to a Mother's Day brunch. And I'm going to blow your mind here for a second. It was horrible. Have you ever been to a bad brunch before?
I think any brunch that you go to on a holiday is going to be bad. Like I think they bring out the B team, so Easter brunch,
this was like
Mother's Day brunch.
To be their like big event. It was in rural Illinois, so what are you going to get? Was
it like the only time they've done brunch?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably part of it.
They do brunch only for big holidays.
See, I guess I was thinking like the place that does brunch every week, and then like, oh yeah, it's Mother's Day or Easter, and so they're gonna do it big this week. But in all reality, it's just bad.
Was there a particular dish that was offensive? Like, what was the worst part of it?
I guess I shouldn't say horrible because everything was fine. It was like
you built this brunch up in your head because you're like, I'm going to fucking brunch.
I'm just used to brunch being like brunch, like you look
awesome
to brunch.
Yeah,
right?
Brunch is amazing.
And this was just like, I could have made any of this stuff.
Did they try an Eggs Benedict?
Could have done all of this. That was the other thing too. They had like very little breakfast food.
Which is no. You got to go big on breakfast.
Right. There was scrambled eggs and sausage links and biscuits and gravy, and that was it. That was all the breakfast food.
Oh no! Yeah, this is bad. This is a bad brunch.
Yeah, rolls, pancakes, French toast.
Yeah, I mean, like typically, like the brunch has like mostly breakfast stuff, and then a lot of fruit, and then you throw in like some fried chicken or
or some ham.
Yeah,
some super
ham.
Savory lunch.
Yeah, like you'll throw in like a big savory thing, like maybe a meatloaf.
Right.
Oh, man, I want some meatloaf.
Yeah, a couple of Big Macs, right?
I mean, yeah, of course, yeah. Just a Big Mac platter. Like,
wouldn't that be awesome if it's just like a sheet tray of
Big Macs? But of course, it's right next to the vat of biscuits and gravy. And
now you're on to something.
Okay, but if it's Hardee's biscuits and gravy next to like Big Macs, and then also next to like Burger King fries with a Wendy's Frosty machine.
we're in business.
You see that Frosties are 50 cents?
Yes.
I saw the commercial.
I saw it last night, and I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? There's always the joke that like McDonald's ice cream machines are always just like, they're always broken. Yeah. But have you ever heard of a Frosty machine being broken?
No.
No, the thing is money. Like I feel like I'm sleeping on Wendy's most of the time.
You know what? The Wendy's, it's interesting. I ate there recently for the first time in a long time. That 4 for $4 menu is dense. There's lots of sandwiches on there, but you can't. I'm not looking to these days. I'm not looking to smash like the whole 4 for $4. It seems like a lot of food to me. So I was hoping to just get like one sandwich, but like one of the value meal sandwiches is $1.75.
Right.
And I was like, I'm halfway to the 4 for $4.
It depends on which Wendy's you go to, but you can sub at a lot of them. So you can get like a side salad instead of fries with that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, the chili? Do they still do the cup of chili?
I think believe so.
Yeah. Some Wendy's won't let you do it.
I think the nuggets are transferable as well. Like, because I think that's part of the. What is it? The 4 for $4, isn't it? Like it's
a sandwich.
Nuggets, fries, and so I think the nuggets you can transfer to like the chili and the side salad.
It seemed like a lot. Like it was like this burger's covered in mayonnaise and ketchup and cheese and bacon, and I'm excited about it.
Junior bacon cheese.
Yeah, but then like, man, fries are fried. The chicken nuggets are fried. Yeah. Like there's a lot of fried going on, and I was pretty soon like there was more fries than I could finish, so I was like shoving the fries on top of the nugget. It's just like putting it in my mouth because I wanted to just get rid of it.
Okay, so we've pivoted now. We are now a video games, NBA, TV, and fast food podcast.
Yes, because I need real quick. Can we just get a quick fast food French fry?
A ranking?
Not a ranking, just which one's the best. So, like, which one are your favorites?
McDonald's. Easy money.
I think Arby's curly fries are probably my favorite, and they're tied probably with Hardee's curly fries because I think they're the same curly fries.
They probably are the same curly fries.
I think they're the same curly fries, but have you ever had their curly fries? You've had an Arby's curly fry, but you still like the McDonald's standard.
McDonald's just straight up lard covered fries. Yes, give me that.
I think McDonald's is number 2 behind the Arby's curly for me.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason though, I think I go Burger King fries.
Ooh, gross. No.
I do like Burger King fries.
I think they're good.
I think they're
I think I go Burger King, Wendy's, then McDonald's.
You know what's surprisingly good though?
Burger King, Wendy's, Arby's, then McDonald's.
That I might put at my number 2 is the Taco Bell nacho fries.
Those are
ridiculous.
Those are pretty good, and the commercials are amazing for them too.
Oh man, yeah, they are. The dude from Westworld.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
James Marsden.
And before that,
James Marsden. John Marston? James.
John is from Red Dead.
John Marston is Red Dead. James Marsden is...
They're both cowboys, though.
They're both.
So I see how you made that mistake.
And there's video games involved because James Marsden is also in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
What if they make a Red Dead movie and they get James Marsden
to play John
Marston?
Oh, I think you just... And then it's Undead Nightmare somehow.
Yeah, I like it.
I am in. I'm all in.
That literally, Kaylee, just melted my brain. Like I'm I can't say words right now. Like I'm thinking about all that, and those two worlds like colliding, smashing together. Like I literally can't handle it.
Like I'm even sitting here like now that I'm like, who plays Jack? And I'm like, like I don't.
Jack 2 or P Jack? Oh, Jack Marston.
Jack Marston.
Oh, I thought we were.
I was trying to throw another fast food character in there, and it didn't work, and it just. I don't know. Anyway, what are we doing here?
I don't know.
We're finishing up video games. I feel like I talked about everything I have played. Did I?
No, you didn't.
Oh, no. What else did I play?
And I don't even know if I want to know. But you finished Kingdom Hearts 3.
Did I do that since we talked?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know your thoughts on the end. We have not talked about this. You and I haven't.
We have not.
Okay. He's shrugging for the listening audience.
I did finish it.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to get into like you're not going to offend me because I
no. I don't. I'm not.
Let's talk about this in like 6 months.
I don't know. Like I
obviously it wasn't even worth like bringing up. You forgot about it, so I can understand you as a fan, like why it means so much to you to see this come through the way it does and see some kind of resolution, even though there is and there isn't.
There is and there isn't, right? I will say that I was kind of disengaged with the combat at the end. Like the big fight at the end, like where you're kind of like upside down and sideways and you're kind of, I don't know, like it just, I think I actually was more into the cutscene. I guess maybe like you, I don't know. Are you more into the story of Kingdom Hearts? Are you more into the combat, or is it just all click for you?
I will say that last fight was a little weird, but I did like all of the Organization 13 fights.
I like those too.
I thought those were great.
Too. Yeah, in fact, I was actually kind of bummed that wasn't the end. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, that last fight. I mean, it was. That happens with a lot of games. It's like even TV. The penultimate episode is always is better than the final.
Right.
So I think I think I've just come to that conclusion that the finale is never always going to be better than
It's hard to end things.
It's
something that I'm realizing as I get older.
There's a lot of things that really struggle to end well. Mm-hmm.
Even somebody just put out, I don't remember which news site it was, but it was like the 19 TV shows that ended perfectly or something like that.
I need to see that list.
And they were struggling they put Lost on that list.
What?
And
yeah.
That was like one of the biggest controversies. Right. Like, did they put Seinfeld on there too?
They didn't put Seinfeld, but they did have Sopranos on there, which I know is also pretty controversial. So if they're stretching at 19 of all the TV shows we've had, oof, it is tough to end things.
I can really only think of, just off the top of my head, like 3. And that's...
I'll say there was one last weekend, Veep. Veep ended absolutely perfectly.
Oh, really? Okay,
but
so...
I know you guys don't watch
I don't watch it. Yeah, that's... And
well, good for them.
And I'm even counting one I never saw. I'm counting Breaking Bad because I've heard everybody said it ended well.
Yep.
I'm going to go Cheers.
I don't remember the ending
Sam
of Cheers.
shuts off the lights.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Like the bar... Like,
sure.
they have to close down the bar. Sam shuts off the lights for the last time and closes the door. I mean, that's kind of the deal. And then Cowboy Bebop.
Sure.
Oh my God, Cowboy Bebop's so good. I love it so much. I watched Cowboy Bebop recently.
I watched Gotham, and it's on. I've had the last episode sitting on my DVR now for about 6 weeks, and I just am like, I could watch this, but I'm going to be massively disappointed. I have been in the last 2 seasons, so why would I even want to do this to myself?
Yeah.
And I've just been avoiding it. But I mean, you think of very few things end great. Anyway, back to Kingdom Hearts, I guess. But
I agree with that. That's what I always like around TV friends or talking about shows. Like
Friends ended okay, actually.
Yeah, Friends. I think like
the sitcoms tend to end okay because it's easy to just switch it off.
Dramas,
They don't know how to. There's just a couple of really good TV shows in our history that have ended really poorly, and it's that you're right. It's the exception more than it is not. Like Rescue Me sticks with me. Like that had a shot. Like it had a chance, and it just I remember. Like it really had a chance, and then it didn't. I think The Americans recently ended. I thought
Americans ended really well.
I thought it was really good.
That ended really
There's
good.
a really nice confrontation in that last episode between like the big antagonist and the protagonist.
Right. And then
was The Americans on that list?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay, it should be. Yeah, man, that's I just was clicking,
But with a video game, let's say like with the TV show, it's it. Or if it's a big line of movies, you know that's it. But with it's a business, so like Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts is a franchise, and they're not gonna stop it here.
And I guess that's the thing too. Is in all reality, they felt like they ended their trilogy. I think. But then they set it up for another one.
Right.
So the fact that they set it up for another one and I don't know, the way they teased everything out at the end. I mean, obviously there's something that's going to happen and Sora will be back. But, the way that they ended things, it was good for what it was, I think, at the time.
I did my best. I really did try to take it seriously that, okay, I'm going to try to fill in these gaps as much as possible because I haven't played enough of these side games, but these side games are so important to the Organization 13
they
story.
Screwed that up. They screwed that up really bad because most people didn't play the side games. I say that, but I think maybe our generation didn't play the side games, but I think probably there's a generation of people in their 20s that played the side games more because they re-released so many of them on 2 and PS3 because they re-released them as part of, oh, hey, this is Kingdom Hearts 1.5, and it includes Kingdom Hearts, and Dream Drop Distance and Chain of Memories. And then Kingdom Hearts 2.5 comes with Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts Recoded. And so maybe those people played those games that way because, with us, when we played that on PS2 when it launched,
yeah.
And then for us, when those games came out, it was, okay, well, that means we either have to play them on a DS or a PSP or a mobile thing. And for most of us, we said, not going to happen. I played Birth by Sleep on the PSP because I'm a crazy person.
Right, you're into it.
And I was into it, but that's the only one I played. I didn't play 364 over 2 days because I thought the name was stupid. And
well, yeah, it is kind of silly.
Yeah. So those are the games that I skipped out on. And it sounds like I didn't miss a whole lot with those other than some character development of Organization 13. But I probably could have got a little more out of some of the cutscenes with that. But if you didn't play Birth by Sleep, I could completely understand why most of Kingdom Hearts 3 would be...
Whatever's going on with Riku is like, you had to really I really had to go out and learn and
Aqua. Who's Aqua?
She's obviously very important.
Who's Ventus?
Yeah.
Who's...
Mickey is very concerned with Aqua.
Very concerned with Aqua.
So
and
it became apparent that I needed to understand who she was. And I did, but it was a lot of outside work because the exposition is in other games.
Well, and then they constantly call Ventus Ven, and there's a Vanitas, and Vanitas is Ventus is nobody, and it's like, okay, yeah, I completely understand how that game is just a whirlwind of what the fuck is going on. But it's my whirlwind of what the fuck is going on, and I like it, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, so it is what it is.
I wanted to make a conscious effort to see it, but I don't. Depending upon where they put it in the future, will probably have an impact on whether I consume it. Like if it's going to hit mainstream consoles, I can probably do that. I could probably check it out. But if they're going to go, I don't know. I guess
at this point there isn't one anymore.
Yeah, I guess PSPs aren't.
Yeah, there is no DS. The DS is the Switch now.
Okay.
So I can't imagine them putting it on.
And they're not going to put them on phones.
No. They would maybe make a phone game, but I don't think they'll make a proper 4 on a phone game.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, who knows if a 4 is in development? They've confirmed that they're doing DLC for 3, but what is that even? Is it? They haven't really said if it's going to be stuff that's post 3 or if it's going to be stuff that was, oh, hey, this was happened in the middle of the game somewhere, or you're going to go play as Aqua, or you're going to play as Riku doing something else. Because if it's post game, you're not going to play as Sora. So
I wonder if there's enough for a proper 4. And you would know more about this than I would, but are there enough unexplored Disney properties there? Or have they pretty much have they tapped everything?
Well, they've gone back to places. You look at Kingdom Hearts 2, they went back to places. It's not like they've
Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules. They went back to Halloween Town and from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
A lot of the mobile games have gone different places. Or when I say mobile, the DS and PSP games have gone different places. There's always a new Disney property. They're always creating new things.
Big Hero 6 in this one.
Yeah, Big Hero 6, Frozen, Rapunzel, all of those were Toy Story. All of those were new worlds. Other than Hercules, everything was a new world. So they can go back to any of those, tell new stories. If anything, when we talked the last time, that they probably could have done more in that area of story-wise in each of those areas because they really just retold the movies other than Big Hero 6. So yeah, I think there's more that they can do. And in all reality, the other part is they own Marvel and they own Star Wars. They could go real nuts with this if they wanted to. Not saying they should, but they haven't touched any of the other Pixar. They've touched Monsters Inc. and Toy Story. They can hit another couple areas with that. It's not saying they can't, but so yeah. I think if they do a 4, they can do something else. I just don't know what.
I don't. I don't know if it matters.
They've obviously pivoted pretty far away from Square.
Yeah, I wonder if it even matters how successful it is at this point. Like, not critically, but like sales-wise, do you think that has an impact on the decision made?
Last I heard, it's still the top-selling game of 2019.
Is it? Yeah.
Like, it beat everything out so far.
With the amount of anticipation, I could see that. Like, the long wait.
Yeah, I don't know if after May, if Mortal Kombat will end up being ahead of it. I mean, Mortal Kombat was in all reality was the next biggest release. If you look at the only thing that hurts Mortal Kombat is it's an M game,
right?
You look at from that type of perspective. But other than that, you look at what else has come out this year. I mean, Resident Evil. I mean, it's a great game, but it probably isn't going to sell to the masses as much. I think it's, if you're looking at a game that could have beat it, it was like Anthem, but it failed to live up to its hype.
Resident Evil is also a short, like you can rent Resident Evil.
Right.
You have a real hard time renting Kingdom Hearts 3 if you want to finish
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sort of just, I think some of those M-rated games, unless they're big blockbusters, are going to be harder to beat out a game that's at least T still at this point.
There's one more game I want to talk about.
Oh, yes.
Good.
It is called Corpse Party, Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash.
Holy shit, that's a mouthful.
So I know you guys are very familiar with the long-running Corpse Party series.
So very much so.
Logan's got that tattoo.
Corpse Party is a visual novel series. Very light gameplay usually.
Light gameplay for a Corpse Party.
Right, right. So it's all the games are kind of very, very light JRPGs with mostly reading text. I've played through, I think, all of them at this point. I like them a lot. They're not the best quality visual novels out there. They're also extremely gory, obviously, Corpse Party. So you'll get to a scene on the screen where there's just a decapitated body or something.
So is this an anime? Corpse Party is an anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is an anime styled game for sure.
But is it an actual anime as well?
It's been adapted to anime, but it started out as a visual novel.
Game. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, or just purely visual novel.
So one of probably the biggest antagonist of the series is Sachiko, who is a little girl who's kind of a spectral figure in this haunted high school. And for this game, she decides that she wants to have a birthday party for herself. So she pauses time for all of the games, brings in every character from every game to come to her birthday, and then makes them do stupid stuff. Like they have a cooking competition, or they have a swimsuit competition and stuff like that. The jokes are kind of hit and miss. Like, it's a lot of, oh, this is so awkward, and such and such is in a bikini that doesn't fit them right. Stuff like that is not the best. But there's also some actually funny stuff in there too. And I thought that the ending was really good. I really liked the ending for it.
Just looking at some Google images here, it's basically like a really dark Sailor Moon.
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
At least just from the clothes that they're wearing, like all of them look like they're wearing the Sailor Scout.
They're all
outfits,
wearing school uniforms.
School uniforms. Gosh, that's really. Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm making fun of myself or if I should admit that I watched Sailor Moon.
No judgment here.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed playing this. I think that it's definitely a game for fans of the Corpse Party series. It's not for anybody else, but it's a thing worth playing if you like those games.
What was the subtitle of that again?
Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash.
I'm looking at all the character list right now. It's a big roster, Caleb.
Yes, and they're all in this game. Every single character is in this game.
Should I go through all of them? Yeah. Okay. Sachiro, Satoshi, Ayume, Naomi, Yoshiki, Yuka, Seiko, Mayu, Sekaturo, Yui.
You're gonna be here for
Naho,
a while doing this.
Sayaka, Yuya, Satsuki, Ayoko, Haruyuki, Azuya, Ran, Sukasa?
I had that last night. It was really good.
Mitsuki,
you get the chicken Tsukasa.
Kensuke, Masato, Tomohiro.
I had the beef Masato. It was all right.
Rosukyo, Kai, Nana. That might be the second Nana. Chihaya, Nari.
Ooh, have you ever had that in a Rangoon?
Chagu, Yoshikazu, former teacher whom Sachiko orders around. Looks like he's a zombie. Yoshi.
Oh yeah, he's a zombie for sure.
Ryu. Tokiku.
Good.
Yuki,
Yoshi and Ryu are in this?
Yuki.
This is like Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Lucio. Okay, that was an easy name. Toshisha Kintaro.
Kintaro morph. Hey, now you're in, right? I was like, ooh, look out.
Tell me more about Kintaro. All right, Caleb,
that's it for me for games.
Okay, I think, did you have any other games on your list?
I played Days Gone, then Mortal Kombat, and can't stop playing Mortal Kombat.
All right, so I don't know how we went away from Days Gone so fast, but
we don't need to go back.
Because, just the question is, all right, now that you played it for like 4 hours, Jason, you played it for like an hour and a half.
Maybe less, like an hour.
Do you even have a desire to go back and play it again, either of you?
A little bit.
Curiosity more so than desire.
Okay. I'm just trying to decide if I ever pick it up. I was debating on the next thing I pick up to be either that or Rage 2, and both I've heard very mediocre things about.
What's the deal with Rage 2?
I have that sitting over on the shelf.
What's going on?
It came today from GameFly.
Yeah, but it came out yesterday. It's not being received well?
It's very boring is what I'm hearing. Like the open world is very lacking.
Getting ready to die.
I guess there's very little Andrew WK.
Getting ready to die.
Yeah,
it sounds like a lot of the same complaints that people had with the first Rage, which was action's good, open world is bland and boring.
Really? Rage 1 was an open world game? I thought it was a corridor shooter.
It should have been.
Okay.
The corridor shooting part of it was really good.
Yeah.
The other parts of it were not good.
20 minutes in between missions. Like, it's a little annoying.
It was bad. I remember I remember being rather annoyed with that game at the time. So, random news stories to hit on real quick.
Okay.
I think almost right around a month ago, Sony did, specifically, all of a sudden I'm blanking on his name. Sony guy, Knack guy.
Mark Cerny.
Mark Cerny talked about the guts of the PlayStation, the new PlayStation, not quite the PlayStation 5.
Is he doing a Mark Cerny impression?
I think he is.
I'm trying. Have you ever listened to Mark Cerny talk?
I don't know. I can't remember.
He has a very soft cadence to himself and speaks very slightly robotic like this.
This is the ASMR portion of our podcast.
Not quite.
My name's Andy House, and I'm a British cocksucker.
Yeah, that is exactly Andy House. No, but the PS5, I guess, is what they were calling it. They talked a little bit about what their plans are for that. Basically putting in a really fast solid state drive that will load like Spider-Man up in fractions of a second.
Okay. Yeah,
that's
cool.
Kind of. I'm just curious how expensive that's going to be.
And also, I'm very curious. I don't want to jump the gun with your news stories here, but with the announcement today that they're working with Microsoft now.
Yes.
So they will be probably somehow incorporating cloud stuff into this as well.
Yeah, they're working with them on cloud-based AI stuff. So working on the Azure platform, Azure, I
think
platform.
Azure. Yep.
Yeah. Which that's probably really just to get away from Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta go to with somebody,
and to compete with Google.
Yeah, and it's like, or Google, and it's like, or do you host it yourself, or do you go with somebody who has built a platform based on gaming? That's probably really what they're looking at doing. Is like, oh, hey, you guys have done this for gaming. This probably makes sense.
Yeah.
And in all reality, Google is going to be a competitor too. So, in the gaming space,
it's gonna be a weird generation for sure.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But yeah, the one thing they did confirm was it'll be backwards compatible and have a disk drive. So that's at least something. Now, whether there'll be PlayStation 5 disc games,
right?
That's another question. But they said at least it will be backwards compatible and have a disk drive of some sort. So I think that's all we got at this point.
Who knows when we're going to find out more, because they are not at E3.
No, they are not. So it's kind of all they've left it at this point was, hey, we're going to have this, and I think the thing was that they're hoping it would be affordable. So whatever that means. Yeah. So there's that story. The next thing on the list I've got is we'll stick with consoles here. So the Xbox All Digital Edition came out. It's kind of odd. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive.
It's not. It's 500.
It's 1 terabyte.
I'm pretty sure it's 500.
That was 1 terabyte. I think
because I thought that was the big thing. Was like, wait, they didn't even increase the size.
Xbox One S All Digital Edition, which is the SAD.
SAD.
Yeah. Yeah. Microsoft Xbox 1 terabyte All Digital Edition.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. It's $249.
Is the base S a 1 terabyte?
Base S is 500. Okay. But you can typically pick up a base S 500 for $200.
Gotcha.
Gosh, I'm just looking here. So that all digital, the Xbox One S with a disk drive, 1 terabyte, is $212 on Walmart's website. So,
yeah.
They've already priced themselves out of it because that's the MSRP on it when they're already selling things a heck of a lot cheaper. And it's the same form factor. They just took the damn disk drive out of it, or they just took the slot away, which is just dumb.
Yeah, this will be something I will never purchase.
No, me either. But it's like, here, you have disc-free gaming, and I think it comes with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and Forza Horizon 3. Not 4, 3.
Okay.
So here's 3 old games. I don't even think it gives you 1 month of Xbox Live Gold and 1 month of Game Pass. So it's a really shitty deal.
Yeah, it's not great.
So yeah, that's all you get. So that sucks. I don't even know what, like, if they really wanted to make a splash with it, come out with it for like $150.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of glad that it's not.
I'm glad it is
the world
too.
on fire, because I don't want that. That's me personally.
I'm more just annoyed that it exists. Like, I don't know. I just find it dumb that the whole thing is out there and like that it's a thing. Because I still want my cases, damn it. Sony had their, what are they calling that thing?
State of
Play last week, and they announced a couple games, but really the only thing anyone cared about was the Final Fantasy VII remake. Did you guys check out the video on that at all?
I've not seen it yet.
So it's kind of a lot of the same cutscenes that we saw from the first time around, except for they showed a little bit of gameplay this time, and it basically looks like Final Fantasy 15.
So it's different from Final Fantasy 15 pretty significantly.
Okay.
So from what I understand, and this is more than just watching the trailer. This is people that have seen the game in action.
Okay, because I don't know those people.
From what I understand, you're doing the same type of combat that you're doing in traditional Final Fantasy VII, which is basically a turn-based JRPG. Okay. But in between that stuff, like while you're waiting for your timer to go up, it's automatically doing things for you, like very low damage attacks or blocking the enemy attacks, stuff like that.
Okay.
Just so that there's action going on. And
okay. So it's not like you're not sitting there going, dun,
so I don't think you're just mashing on a button like you are in 15 to do an attack. I think it's more of I'm going to pick my attack that I want to do.
And then you can I wonder if you'll set some passive abilities or something like that. That seems like a thing that they should do, is set some sort of like, here, I can set up what my passive stuff is while I'm timing up. I mean, it looks nice.
Yeah.
I just find it very interesting that they're literally calling it Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just saying that. It's like, it says it on the title card.
I'm
remake.
Really curious how they translate this, because the original Final Fantasy VII is known for being a very poor translation. So I'm wondering if they stick to the poor translation because it's the way that it was before, or if they try to retranslate it so that it actually makes sense this time.
They'll probably change the whole thing. Certain people live, certain people die that weren't supposed to.
I have no idea, and I'm very curious.
I don't know. I mean, you think about it. How long has it been since that game came out now? 25 years?
It was 1997.
97. Yeah. So by the time it comes out, it'll be 25 years.
It'll be 30.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how far they really are in this thing. From what it sounds like, I mean, that game was in development hell for a while, so I'm not even sure what it's going to be. So, yeah, they kind of said, oh, yeah, we'll have more to say about this later this year. I can't imagine it's going to be a next-gen game, but who knows at this point? Who knows if there is such thing as next-gen? Maybe we're just going to take these half steps forever. I don't know. Persona 5 got 2 new games announced. Persona 5
I missed that. Go
Royals and Persona 5
The Royal,
sorry.
And
Scramble, yeah. So the Scramble is just for the Switch.
Scramble
right?
is Switch only.
And
it
Royal
is
a just
oh
PS4.
god, I forgot the name. Somebody just told me the name of it and I forgot. Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Whatever the genre is of Dynasty Warriors, there is an actual name for it, and I can't remember what it is.
Hack and slash?
No, it's a Japanese word.
Yeah.
But now I can't remember what it is. Can you look that up real quick?
Sure.
But yeah, Persona 5 Scramble is the Switch one. They didn't show much of it at all. It's a very short trailer, almost no gameplay in it.
No date either, right?
No date. But it is a Dynasty Warriors with the Persona characters, essentially.
And didn't they do that with one of the Zelda games?
Yep.
Was
Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors. Did that game suck ass?
No, actually, a lot of people like that game a lot. Yeah. So this could be good. I'm looking forward to that. Persona 5 Royal is for PS4 only, and it is the compilation version of Persona 5. So if you think of Persona 4 Golden or Persona 3 FES, it's that.
There's one new playable character, right?
One new playable
and
character.
It's I think all new.
There's a third trimester of school,
right? And then there's, I think, some more connection stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some social links.
Yeah. Musou.
Yeah.
Is the genre. But translated English is hack and slash fighting.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yes, it does have a cool name, but it also is a hack and slash fighting game. Yeah, Omega Force would be the developer.
How good is the music in Persona?
It's still really good.
So good.
Okay, so yeah, Starry Switch fans who wanted an actual Persona 5 on Switch.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense why they don't have it on Switch, but
not like it couldn't have handled it.
Yeah.
I don't know,
it was a PS3 game.
Those cards though, the Switch cards don't hold a lot of data.
That's true.
So I don't know, maybe they ran up against that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that could be.
I'm a shapeshifter. What else would I be?
Other thing on my list. So this is more of a discussion thing. Why all the hate for the Epic Store? Other than not having cloud saves.
You're more qualified.
Other than not having cloud saves. What is the hate on the Epic Store for? And my question is I'll because I want to preface it with this, is the way that they're selling it is for they're taking less of a cut than Steam is, like half the less of a cut. So I think it's like they're taking like 6% versus 12% or something like that.
I don't remember the exact percentage, but I think they take 12 and Valve takes more.
I can't remember exactly how it is, but the developer gets much more of the cut than the store does on the Epic Store, but why is everybody all up in arms about it as a non-Steam user?
There's a lot of things. One of the biggest ones, from my understanding, and I'm somewhere in the middle on this. I don't know if I have an opinion yet, but one of the biggest things is that Epic is owned by Tencent. And people are very skeptical of the Chinese company Tencent.
Okay.
So they're concerned that there could be spyware involved. There could be nefarious things like that involved with the Epic Store. There's also the fact that the Epic Store just has like very few features that Steam does at this point.
I think it's the features thing, which like cloud saves is one of the big ones. That
Cloud saves, forums, reviews.
But aren't forums full of just garbage?
Shopping cart. There's no shopping cart on the Epic Store. Just like very basic things like that just aren't in the store. But that I don't know. I don't know if that's the big thing. The big thing, I think, the biggest thing is that people keep saying, well, this is good because it's creating competition for Steam. And if you think about it, it's actually not a competitor. So in order to be a competitor, you have to have the same product, and they're not doing that. They're getting these exclusive games. They're buying these exclusive games.
Is it any different than Sony versus Microsoft?
So it is, because it's on the same platform. So if you think of this more as along the lines of it lines up closer with like Netflix versus Amazon versus Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah,
that stuff.
That would make more sense. Yeah, you can get it on an Apple TV or Roku or whatever, but it's
right.
There's exclusivity to those things.
And the problem is that these places aren't competing with each other because they all have exclusive content. So this is just, instead of this creating a good, solid capitalist form of, competition, this is creating silos where people there's basically two different monopolies. You have the monopoly. It's easier to explain with Netflix and Disney.
No, yeah,
you have the monopoly of the Netflix exclusives versus the Disney exclusives. They're not competition with each other. You buy one or the other. You're not going to sit there and compare and contrast both.
Or you buy or a lot of people will buy both.
Exactly.
Just for the fact of like, hey, I want both of these things. I mean, we're at the point now where we have Amazon, Netflix. I mean, Disney's not even out yet.
So in that case, what people are saying is, and I kind of agree with this point, because they're not actually competing with each other, the Epic Store has no incentive to get any better. And especially because they have all their Fortnite money.
Yeah, they have fuck you Fortnite money, yeah,
and never get any better, and force people into using a inferior product without any incentive for it to ever get better. So I see that argument.
Yeah, and I guess I see the argument of I don't want some guy and I don't want Gabe Newell to profit off of the fact that he's got the storefront that no one else can buy anything off of, because I mean he was the only game in town for the most part. For buying, I mean, you could get stuff off GOG, but I mean, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't on there, or they were timed. So I mean, in all reality, they kind of had a monopoly on everything to start with, and they could tell the developers, yeah, we're taking this big ass cut because you have nowhere else to put it.
Yep.
So that sucks too. I mean, because I remember hearing the numbers and I was like, man, that's a lot of money just to hand over to a storefront, a digital storefront.
So the big thing is now, and I think this is where things really need to change. So as this is happening in both sides of this, is happening in the video streaming services and also in games, where as these places spin up more and more storefronts and places to watch and consume stuff, piracy is just climbing higher and higher and higher, and that's going to be a big problem for them. So something's got to give here eventually. Yeah. Because if you make things inconvenient for people, they're just going to pirate it and play it on their own terms. And that solves no problems.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
it's a part of where we reach a point of saturation.
Yeah.
And we are, especially with streaming video services, like we are on the cusp.
We are oversaturated already.
And we're about to get 2 more by the end of the year.
We're like we're going to see, we got to see one of them or 2 of them go. And I'm not saying Netflix is going anywhere. Prime has Amazon money, so it's not going anywhere. But like, I'm trying to think, like, Voodoo could just disappear one day and no one would notice because of the marketplaces are like Epics. Like, those are the ones that are going to ultimately pay the price.
The niche ones like Crunchyroll, Crackle.
Was it which one? They re-released the Criterion channel thing shut down, and that made a lot of people very angry because that had a lot of like old classic movies on there, like very good stuff, and
like nobody has anymore. Like the digital rights to some of these older classic movies are gone. I shouldn't say gone, but they're sitting out there. I mean, if you don't have the physical media for it, good luck.
Right.
And licensing's a pain in the ass. It just is. So
you're going to get people that are archiving illegally or legally, whatever you want to call it, gray area or whatever, just to kind of preserve this stuff when it could be way better, right? there was another thing I saw where this is a long time ago, but apparently this happened with movies at one point, where certain movie theaters were only playing, like the movie company would own the movie theater. So Paramount would own their theater, and whatever other company would own their theater, and they only played
Universal,
right.
20th Century Fox, yeah, you
so
name it.
Universal theaters would only play Universal movies, which, as you can imagine, if you live in a rural area, that would be terrible.
Right,
you're only seeing a third of the movies that come out in a year.
Yeah.
So there was law put into place that movie theaters must show movies from all other producers, and I think that might be where we're headed with this. So you might end up seeing, which would be really interesting, you might end up seeing Fortnite on Steam. You might end up seeing stuff like that, just to get this competition going in the right direction here.
I think maybe with gaming, but I think that as a, how do I say this? That'll be a political time sink if we get there with streaming media. Like,
it's going to be interesting to see.
I would shit a brick if Game of Thrones was available on Netflix someday.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I would be shocked.
I mean, technically it is on Prime.
Yeah, no, I know that it, but that's what I'm saying is that, sorry, bad example. I'm saying day and date.
Oh, like Dan, yeah. I mean, it's like,
sorry, that's what I mean. Like the timed exclusivity.
Game of Thrones 2 on.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine this coming Sunday in a future world where it's on Prime, Netflix, HBO Go, Showtime anytime.
I can see it.
Like I don't think that'll happen.
Here's what might happen though is the HBO might not own HBO Go anymore, so it might be a third party that just has everything. And there might be several of those third parties that collect those. Does that make more sense?
So it'd just be like a cable company then, I mean, at that point. But like, there's just so many of them. Well, I think the thing is you look around, like if you've ever tried to sign into like an app, like with your cable thing, there's like, here's the top 10, but then there's 300 other local cable companies that you can select from. It's like, we still are in that, we live in this two worlds thing of like, there's all these different cable providers that all have a local monopoly, and then now we have these national companies that are all eating up those local cable monopolies, which good, they needed to be eaten up, but what does that look like now? And I don't think anybody knows. I think it's just everybody's trying to get a piece of that pie, and
so what I'm saying
the only way to get a piece of that pie is by exclusives.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially you're right. It would be more surprising on the TV front, but especially on the games front, I could easily see some of Epic's games being on Steam, some of Ubisoft's games being on Epic, whatever.
I could see that too.
Do you think
just for the fact that I think they'll try to avoid this legislation as much as they
can? I was going to say, do you think it will be legislatively enforced? See, I guess the thing I'm thinking of is if they haven't legislated loot boxes yet,
which is coming.
It's coming, but if it's taken him this long, I don't know how long it's going to take him for him to do this, because I don't think this is hitting anybody's radar right now. Yeah, from a legislative standpoint,
I think they'll stall that by making baby steps and saying, we're making an effort here. See, Fortnite's on Steam and we're not competing.
Yeah, I think
we are competing.
Well, or they're going to say Fortnite is available on PC and it's available on all these different consoles. Because it is available on PC. It's a question of what store you're buying it from. I guess
Fortnite's a bad example because it's free.
But even at that, like just say what was one of the exclusives that they just did? Metro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Metro was. You can say Metro is available on the PC platform. It's available for anybody to come and get into our game store, but it's also available on Xbox and it's also available on PlayStation. Like, it's available on those platforms, so you can't say it's a monopoly.
Well, it still is though, because there's no competition for it. So it's still technically a monopoly.
They would say that consoles are competition.
They're not.
From a business standpoint, it is. And that's how they're going to get away with it. I mean, you look at a couple years ago, Sirius and XM were allowed to merge. It's like they were two satellite radio companies, and they allowed them to merge because they said that our competition is not each other. Our competition is radio, it's CDs, it's MP3 players, it's Spotify, and Apple Music didn't even exist then, but that's why they were allowed to merge. So because there was a question on whether they'd be a monopoly. I don't think this isn't gonna be a dent in a monopoly standpoint. I don't know. I don't think it will be.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Just for the fact that it's available still on that PC platform.
I think Logan's argument is that there's probably from a legislative standpoint that there's going to be a fundamental misunderstanding that you have that the people governing this thing won't.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anything else. But
like the guy in Alabama that thought that tampons were sex toys.
That's Alabama, though. let's not confuse Alabama with the rest of the country. Real quick
before we finish up, that reminds me. My wife recently looked at me and she says, when people say that went south fast, do they mean that something was shot to hell, or do they mean literally like that went to Alabama real fast? And who wants to be there? I was like, wait, so you're saying, and then
she's not wrong either way.
That's what I mean. Like, no one. Who wants to? That went to.
Sorry to all of our Alabama listeners.
Alabama, man. Our huge contingent. Roll damn tide. Our huge contingent from Alabama.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't know how to answer that. It went Florida man all of a sudden. So I don't know.
Florida man's just always in jail.
Well, it seems bad. Though.
Yeah.
Like if it's gone to Florida man and it's a bad situation, this whole situation went Tallahassee on us.
Panhandle bad. Yeah.
Panhandle bad. It went Jacksonville bad.
See how it could go? Yeah. Oh man.
God, not Tits vacation Florida bad. Panhandle bad.
Tits up in the Carolinas. Just bad.
Not bad. The only other thing I had news-wise was Mario Maker 2. Looks really good.
It does. I'm shocked that I'm in on Mario Maker 2.
They really did some cool stuff with that. There's a story mode now.
That's what did it for me.
Yeah, the 3D world stuff looks like it's a completely it's like there's Mario Maker, then there's Mario Maker 3D world, and then there's like a story thing, and it looks like there's actually a good way of searching for stuff this time around. Like they really tried to figure it out. The one thing they haven't answered though is, does it come with a damn stylus? Yeah. I don't know. I guess I can find a stylus anywhere.
Doesn't the European version have a
The European version has a package deal where it comes with a stylus and like a 3-month or a year of Nintendo Switch Online and all kinds of stuff. But like we haven't seen the US packaging to see if it actually comes with said stylus.
We'll find out.
I
don't care because I'm never going to make a level in that.
You'll play it, but you'll never make a level. I would make a few, but I would never, they would be nothing exciting or that great.
The thing that the first game was missing for me was some sort of progression. Mm-hmm. And with story mode, this definitely has it now. So I can get in there, I can play the whatever 80 or 90 levels or whatever.
They said 100, yeah.
100 is what they said. And then I actually feel like I'm making progress on something and then be done with it. And that's exactly what I want in a game.
Making progress on something.
Yes.
We talked about that earlier.
I don't just want here is infinite levels, go have fun. That's not how I play games.
I would probably do some online ones just to see some, like if there was some really goofy stuff out there, just to see because some of the stuff they showed on that stream, it was like, what the hell is that thing? I love the fact though that the way they sold it to start with, it was just basically you can slide down hills and there's an angry sun, and it's kind of like, wait a minute. You had me an angry son.
But the biggest problem I have with that is the Mario Maker culture has been who can make the hardest Mario Maker level, and that is not what I want at all.
If anything, all I want to do is avoid every scrolly level that ever existed. Those things are brutal as hell. I hate those scrolling levels, but they were
I want levels that are fun and well constructed, so I'll let Nintendo make my levels for me.
Yeah. I'd be curious, to see I'll mess around with some stuff. I think I might actually buy that one just because I think it'd just be one it might be fun to go back to here and there. If there's random stuff.
But launch date
June 28th.
So fast.
Yeah, so pretty fast. Close. Yeah.
That could be a nice summertime sync for you, really.
Yeah, it could be a nice little travel game too. Because that was one thing they said was that you can download levels and play them offline. So it's you can download an online level, play it all offline.
Or I'm sure the story mode's available offline too.
Yeah, I'm sure story mode is too. But yeah, like if there was a a really hard level or something, like hey, you wanted to take this on the go and like try to beat it, and that was the other thing they showed too is like you can put like where you died. Did you ever play the first one?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there was always the X's where you died and stuff. Well, this time you can actually like put little notes and stuff in there, and like other people can see your notes.
So you can like annotate.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like there was like stickers and stuff, and then like you could put like or like watch out for this, and like or you it showed that you could just write stuff too. So you could be like, this is a motherfucker. Like right, I don't know how
many penises do you think will be?
Oh, there will be so many penises on there. But because I don't know how much well they're going to patrol that kind of stuff.
So if I'm Nintendo, I bet they'll patrol that pretty hard. But I don't know. I was just thinking
they actually did a good job on the Wii U or not. What was that called? The Miiverse. Right?
Miiverse, yeah.
They did a pretty good job of like
policing that stuff. Yeah,
I bet that if I would bet if anyone can do it, Nintendo can do it.
It
might just auto recognize a dick and be like, no dicks, please.
Which is a whole plot of the TV show Silicon Valley, is the algorithm to write a program that can detect a picture of a dick.
I should watch that show.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Is that show over?
No,
it's still
there's one more season.
One more season.
I think.
Okay.
It lost TJ Miller, which is probably a good thing, but he was kind of an important character on that show, so I'm not sure.
And his was personal, right?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Well, he quit.
Oh, he quit the show. But
this was before his stuff.
Oh, this was before his stuff?
And it was his ego, and he thought that he wasn't having enough screen time or some BS like that.
Because Kunal's on that show too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even going to act like I know his last name.
Nanjiani.
Yeah, I was just going to mess it up, and it would just sound racist or something, so...
that went Alabama fast.
That went real Alabama fast. I like how this is just going to be a thing now. It's like, it's just no longer that one.
I didn't know how to answer
What's
the
like
question.
the knockoff Popeyes? Alabama fast.
Isn't that Bojangles?
Bojangles.
Zaxby's.
Oh, God.
No, Zaxby's.
Yeah, Zaxby's.
Don't you talk about Zaxby's.
No. Yep. I will cape up for Zaxby's right now.
All right. I have nothing else. Anybody have anything else for the cause?
Barry is excellent.
Oh, yes, Barry.
Just say that.
And we're last episode coming up this week, so.
Fucking Fuchs.
Don't, yeah. Yeah.
Kusno's character and NoHo Hank. Oh my God. Every time they're on the screen, it's freaking hysterical.
It is.
Do you my favorite part of the season, forgive me if we've talked about this off mic. My favorite thing, I think it's in the first episode. He walks into Kusno's office and he's upset. I can't remember his girlfriend, the cop. What's the character's name?
I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember the one who died. Yeah, I forget her name.
Jeez. It'll come to me. But anyway, he's just like, she could be out there, Barry. She could be cold right now. And he's like half listening to him. He says something like self-serving, like I need help with this lesson or whatever. Barry, are you familiar with the Japanese tradition Harry-Carry? I'm like,
the baseball announcer?
Fall over.
Like, what?
He says the baseball. Yeah, he's like, Barry, get the fuck out. He does. That's it.
It was like, I remember you just cracked up laughing. I think I just sat there just befuddled for like 5 minutes. And I was like, I need to rewind just to go back to be like, I'm so confused on what the hell just happened.
My favorite part this season, we have definitely talked about this offline, but is the first time that you see Hank this season. Well, I think it's the first time. No, maybe it's not. But it's when Barry is training everyone for the first time.
Yeah, that's later on.
That's later.
Yeah.
And he comes in and Hank is wearing that sun hat and he has like the sunscreen on his nose. And I lost it there. I just absolutely lost it.
When Hank was trying to be in disguise at the Lululemon store.
Yeah.
That was
It's me.
Yeah, like Betty, it's me. It's Hank. Like
it's Hank.
I know.
So good. It's really funny.
The episode with the Taekwondo guy.
Oh God, Lily. What was it? Yes.
Oh my God,
Ronnie Lily.
Yeah.
That if that doesn't end up being the best episode of TV this year, then there's something that's incredible coming out soon.
That thing.
Ronnie, don't be an asshole, Ronnie. Ronnie, you're messed up, man. Hey, look, Chicago is still on. Ronnie, Ronnie, and he jump kicks. He jump kicks the paper towel sticks, and he's not even close. He genuinely goes for it. And Barry's like, doesn't even come close.
I'm trying to remember what song was on in the background, but whatever it was perfect because it was just like grocery store music. I mean, it was some like random 80s song.
What is she? Barry, shoot her off my face. Shoot her off my face, Barry. That show's great.
Yeah,
it's really good.
So yeah, for everybody that's disappointed in Game of Thrones, just go watch Barry instead.
I tell everybody, just watch Barry.
I do same thing. I was at a birthday party with a bunch of Game of Thrones fans, and we were all just kind of talking about the show or whatever. And then my parting words were like, "But whatever you do, you gotta watch Barry. It's a half an hour, and it's the best show on TV right now." And of course, like we've talked a lot, like Atlanta's like right there. Like if you wanted to say 1A, 1B.
Yeah,
but,
I was last year when we were talking about the Toady. I was in that 1B category, but season 2 of Barry has absolutely moved it into the 1A category for sure.
Yeah,
firmly in there.
Season 2 of Barry. I didn't know what they were going to do with it, and it's incredible. Like it's blown me away. I just can't believe it. How good it is.
Crystal Ball. Get out of jail free, or what do you say? Get free jail, or whatever. He butchers it.
50% with Crystal Ball. You could just have it all. 50% with Crystal Ball.
Crystal Ball. Yeah. He kicks this guy in the shoulder. He goes from trying to kill Barry to like, oh hey Barry. Like, he just in the first season when he thinks that what was Hank's boss's name? Goran, right?
Yeah.
Goran. Hey, Hank. Or, hey, Barry, so glad to see you. I don't know if Goran's going to kill you. You look hungry. Can I get you a steak or a sandwich? You look hungry. I don't know about Goran. Maybe, he going to kill you? I don't know. It's so good. It's
so amazing to me that Hank was supposed to die in like episode 2 originally, and they just were like, we cannot do it. We have to keep this guy around.
And the thing is, he's Victor Zsasz on Gotham. Yeah. Like he's supposed to be this badass killer guy, and he has no accent or anything else. And then on Barry, he's Hank. Yeah.
Do Hank you? Is his own I know we're talking about Barry way too much. Do you either of you guys see the Bill Hader and the other main writer? Do you see those?
I watched them afterwards. I did not watch after this last episode because I didn't want to see anything about the next episode.
That's usually my thing.
I just was like, nope, not going to do it because I just wanted to. Because I was like, I don't want it. I wanted it to end right there. Like I didn't want it. Anything else.
The reason why I brought it up is because they always talk about the episode, and I find it really interesting. But they said that Hader, they literally have to shoot his head almost looking down in every scene he's with Hank because he's always laughing, and he cannot help it. Like he's like, I can't fucking hold it together. I can't hold it together.
It doesn't surprise me.
They were talking about, I can't remember what scene they were talking about. Oh, they were talking about the accordion.
Oh, the accordion.
God. You whipped this out. You whipped your accordion out and fucked this moment, man. You fucked it with your fucking accordion. And then he's walking. He's walking onto the bus. Will somebody? That's this fucking guy. Will somebody do something about this guy? He's just. So apparently
Hader, you sold me out?
Hader thinks he's just as funny as we all do. Like he thinks he's funny.
Well, there was the whole deal. I mean, I think
what have you ever done? What have I ever done to you, Barry? You wore a wire fuse. Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, that's the whole deal with like I think that the South Park thing where the what was it? Documentary they did was 6 Days to Air.
Oh, right.
They brought it, Matt and Trey, they just brought in Bill Hader and set him down in their room, and they just bounced ideas off of Bill Hader, and if Bill Hader thought they were funny, then they stuck. That was the deal.
It was a litmus test.
Yeah, Bill Hader was their litmus test for what was funny. Like, and it's like, okay, the South Park guy has been doing it for years. Like they've got to use somebody as their litmus test, and Bill Hader's pretty damn good at that.
I'm not really watching. You probably watch SNL more than the rest of us, but
yeah.
I'm not really super familiar with Hater before this, but I'm glad Barry's a thing because it's super unique. And
I never expected it.
This,
no,
that's for sure.
If he has this unique vision, like, and it's come to life, like, thank you HBO for making this happen. Thanks for believing.
Thanks for whoever greenlit this.
Yeah, like it is because it is
whoever took that risk.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So yeah, final episode of Barry this week. Who gives a shit about Game of Thrones?
I don't know. Well, I do give a shit.
Well, you do give a shit, but I
care more about Barry than Game of Thrones for sure.
I know. I'm just kidding.
At this point, I just want to see how they end the plot of Game of Thrones.
I'm curious.
It's kind of a mess.
I've been on. Right now, I've heard it's a mess, but
we talked about this already. It's hard to end a show, especially with with a sprawling universe like that
and high expectations.
This is the best they could do. Real quick, do you guys think we'll do an
E3 prediction? Yeah, we'll do one in May, early June, because it's June 8th is 9th. Yeah. 9th.
EA plays on the 8th.
No one cares about EA. They're not doing a proper conference.
Right. That's just their come check out our stuff day.
Yeah. So it's just Microsoft on the 9th.
Okay.
Nothing on the 10th, which is weird.
Ubisoft.
And then 11th.
Ubi's on the 10th.
That's on Monday?
Yeah, Ubi's on the 10th, and then Nintendo's on Tuesday.
Gotcha.
But there'll always be peripheral stuff. Oh, and Square is on Monday night, too.
Okay.
Square took Sony's spot.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So
hopefully they don't just do a video again.
Yeah, I would hope they don't after last year's debacle, or unless they just show The Quiet Man again, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, so we'll do an E3 prediction thing, which might include some Sony stuff, just because I have a feeling Sony won't be able to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Barry some more.
Yeah.
Jason and I did a TV trade, so we can maybe talk a little bit about that.
What am I supposed to watch? I forgot.
Oh, God.
No, I know. Veep. Okay, Veep. Yeah. Is that how much of Veep? Do you want me to just...
Just one season.
Did you want me to just... Okay.
I got to tell you, I got to pull this up, because this has been driving me crazy since you watch Veep. So I'm in the healthcare world, and one of the things, the evil monopoly of surveys is Press Ganey, and they always have a big person speak at their annual conference every year. And so I went. Last year was oh God, what is his name? The doctor on CNN. That's all I know what his name is, but that guy. But in years past, it has been. I've seen Bill Clinton speak at that before, so that gives you some some names. Robin Roberts spoke one year, so Robin Roberts was a breast cancer survivor, and the other person that's a breast cancer survivor now is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So this is the publicity photo that they have put out for Julia Louis-Dreyfus on the website.
Wait.
Yes, it looks like she's naked. I pulled up the website the other day in a meeting, and someone asked me why there was a porn pop-up. And so, yeah, if you're ever just feeling crazy, just go to pressganey.com. And, yeah, you'll see this really oddly seductive picture of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who doesn't have a seductive bone in her body.
I disagree with that.
I don't know. I just always see her in comedy.
Yeah.
So I've just never seen her, do a dramatic thing where she's trying to do anything. So that's why it's just an odd picture of her. You always see her making a goofy face or smiling.
Apparently somebody's not seen Lampoon's Christmas.
Well, I've seen it.
She was all in the silky clothes before the tree came in the house.
The tree came in the house, and then she wasn't very happy about that. There was wine everywhere. It was a thing.
It's true.
I did watch 2 episodes of Succession. We can talk about that at a different time.
Oh boy. Oh Jesus. So many questions.
That's where I am.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I feel to play. Should I watch something?
You should watch Succession.
Succession? Okay.
Yeah.
And Veep.
There you go.
You take both.
I'll watch Veep, but I'm glad you're watching Succession because the second season is in August.
Right.
So as we do eventually
they're doing a second season. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and if you do enjoy the first season, then you should watch the trailer because the trailer for the second season is
would you say
fire.
Don't take this as an indication of if I'm liking it or not, but would you say that it improves or it's steady throughout? Does it decline?
I think that that's hard to say because I think the show is very well shot, very well acted, and very well written, period, end of story, every episode, no matter the story arc. but I think the story arc goes up.
Okay,
for sure.
That's what I want.
Yeah, because you're there. He's
I'm in
coma,
setup mode
he's in
right
a
now.
coma right now. Yeah, and so they're all positioning for their piece of the company.
Yep.
And then it only goes up from there.
It seems
the stakes get higher.
Yeah, I guess we should probably cut this podcast at some point tonight.
We're just talking.
It seems like they almost give the actors some room for improvisation. And it's, to me, it's a little hit and miss depending on the actor, but I kind of appreciate that they do that just because it makes things a little more natural when they're having a one-on-one conversation.
And when someone stumbles over a word or when it's an awkward moment, like I think they let that stand because they're like all of these people are just wildly imperfect.
Yeah.
But they have perfect money.
Like when Kieran McCulkin, especially, is when he's talking, sometimes he'll just be like, you know what, I'm done with this conversation. This is over. And it's like, was that actually in the script? Because it didn't seem like it. And it's a little clumsy, but that's also kind of the way that people speak.
Roman's character is manic. He's a manic. And some of that is even further explained. But they all don't know how to talk to one another. No one respects one another, but also they do respect one another. And it's really good. Think of that show, the way I would pitch that show is like a great stage play. It's a great stage play. It is pure soap opera drama. Yeah. I almost wish I could see that show on a stage because it would be great.
The actors, like, for better or for worse, they go for their roles. Like, they go 100% into their character.
And I like that.
And most of the time it works.
Yeah. It's over syrupy at times, and I'm okay with it when it happens. Right. Alan Ruck's in it, Logan, so that's reason enough for you to watch it.
Which one? Who is that in the show?
He was Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He was Stuart on Logan and my favorite sitcom, Spin City.
She'll be riding Stuart Bondick when she comes.
Is he the oldest brother?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember. Cameron? Maybe? I can't remember.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, so I can't remember. I can't remember his name on the show.
Guy with a really young wife.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's not. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
girlfriend.
They go into that too. He doesn't want anything to do with the company. But he just wants daddy's money. God, I love that.
I'm enjoying it.
All right. Okay, we'll call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Boom. Podcast over. See you in a couple weeks for E3 preview. Sounds good. Good night.